All right, what is going on, my dudes? So we are back here today with what I hope is going to be a very fun rank up and gameplay video. This is going to be on OG Black Widow as a 5-star. We're gonna take her up to nice. All right, as I was saying, we're gonna take her up to rank 5 here. Take her up to level 65, awaken her, bring her up to SIG 200, and mess around with one of the OG gods of the game. So, you know, OG Widow is a champion I've wanted for a very, very long time. She was in one featured 5-star crystal a while back, I believe. I tried really hard to get her. I couldn't get her. One day, when I finally do have her, I will be taking her up to rank 5 and using an awakening gem on her for real, bringing her to, SIG 200. It's come to the point for me on my live account, it's like the only 5-stars I'm going to rank are like, Scarlet Witch. I brought up Wolverine recently. I'll bring up champs like that. You know the champs I'm talking about. The champs that like feel really freaking cool to get as a 5-star. Otherwise, I typically wait a bit, unless I really, really need the champ. Like I took up Apocalypse. He was my last like real 5-star rank up, you know what I mean? But unless it's a champ that like has an impact similar to Apocalypse, I tend to wait and to pull them as a 6-star, and it's been working out for the most part so far, right? But she's one where, like, it just feels so cool to have as a 5-star. And we have her as a synergy member to MCOC on the CCP beta server, man. And we just gotta mess around with her and see how good she is in 2021 in MCOC in real endgame content. Let's see if she's worth the rank up if you happen to pull her from, like, the Shattered Heart Cavalier crystals, or if she's in another featured 5-star crystal, or if she's in, like, any Cav bundles, right? So, at SIG 200 here, Black Widow strikes her opponents, blah, 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 reducing chance of triggering their abilities by 80%. This chance is increased by 15% against science champions and decreased by 15% against mutants. So you don't want to fight her when you need her ability accuracy reduction against mutants. So, against science champions, she has pretty much 95, unless that's suffers from diminishing returns, but let's just say she has 95% reduced ability accuracy reduction. Defensive, right? Kind of like Falcon, right? Kind of like Falcon. Where Falcon has minus 100% defensive ability accuracy reduction, she has 95%. To my knowledge, I believe, before 12.0, you guys know I haven't been playing since back then, but people say to me, this used to be a flat 100%. So she used to do what Falcon does, but always have it up, I believe, but just a little bit overpowered. Falcon seems overpowered, right? So I can only imagine if it was up the whole time. But aside from that, these are her abilities. That's it. When attacked. 3% chance to automatically dodge incoming attacks. But I think that we all know this is more like, 300% when you're fighting her? Special attacks. 100% chance to boost critical rating by 525. 100% chance to increase crit damage rating by 1181 for 8 seconds. That's actually decent. Special attack 3. 70% chance only to stun for 3.5 seconds. So yeah, this could use a little bit of a buff here. I feel like a lot of these like OG god champions can use a bit of a buff, believe it or not, to keep up with the meta of the game. However, man, she can still be pretty decent. Right out of the gate, let's check her out against Realm of Legends, see how she does, how her damage feels, and then we'll move on to some real content. So we got some cool Synergy members here today, and they're actually all good champions. All 4 of these champs are good, so it's not like one of those, like, throw random BS champs on the team. All 4 of these champs are useful. So let's take a look at what they do. Her actual synergies here are very, very basic. I guess this one's actually pretty decent too. That's actually pretty decent in general for anybody. Right? Why don't I ever talk about this one? I don't know. We'll get back to that later. Maybe that's a different video. But you got Synergies right here. Spider's Bite. Activating a special attack grants a fury buff, increasing attack by 20% for 6 seconds. Very, very nice. That's a nice bit of attack. Also, you get plus 10% when fighting against villain champions. That's always nice to have. This one's cool. Check this out. Skill champs gain plus 250 critical rating on basic attacks. Very nice. This one with Quake here. Black Widow gains plus 15% ability accuracy, duration, and potency. I'm not sure if that goes along with her sick ability. I have no idea, to be honest, but I guess we'll find out. And then MCOC here has got a new synergy here. Started the fight with an indefinite passive fury, granting plus 10% attack rating. So there's actually a lot of attack rating, a lot of crit rating here on this team. So we're just going to make her hit a lot harder and look a lot nicer. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Nothing too crazy. We definitely don't need any of these synergies. Maybe the Quake one's more important than I think. But anyway, let's go ahead and see how we do. Right off the bat, a 4K medium attack is not too bad. You know, coming out of a maxed out 5-star. Definitely excited to go for like a special 2 and see what the Fury buff from Black Widow gives us. Black Widow Clairvoyant, of course, I mean. Let's see. Let's go for it. Ooh, a lot of buffs. Oh, wow. That was a very nice special 2. You know what's interesting to me? It's looking like with Black Widow, she's going to be a semi okay option. Actually, a pretty decent option for buffed up lanes. That's pretty interesting. Hey, she's actually hitting kind of hard, guys. She's hitting a lot better than I initially anticipated. 2 special attacks and Winter Soldier's down to 75% health already. That's not too bad. Let's go for another special 2 here. Hopefully we can get a crit again. No, it's a big difference when you don't crit, man. But yeah, look at this. Even, you know, when you're still hitting them with those buffs active. Ooh, you know what I'm thinking right now? I'm thinking of a potential different team here, where we throw on Mr. Fantastic as well. And then we get those buffs will be paused when we hit the opponent. But that was a big special too. How about that? That was nice, huh? You know what? Yeah, so this will be done in about 180 hits. Not the worst, but also not the best. But for an old champion, not the worst. I'm going to try throwing together a team with Mr. Fantastic and see if that makes a difference. Alright, we're going to give this a shot. We removed MCOC, we definitely don't need him, and we removed Quake, because to my knowledge, unless we're like going for defensive ability accuracy reduction, right, we definitely don't need Quake with us, at this moment at least, but let's go ahead and see if this makes a difference here. This Mr. Fantastic synergy, it might help us really keep those buffs up longer, which could potentially be a lot of fun. Alright. So we're going to build up to a special 2, and then I'm going to bait out a special, we'll bait out one more special 1 from Bucky here. All right, let's see. Medium, medium into special 2. Now, as you can see, okay, so maybe if I were to, let's try going for another special attack here. Alright, now that we're hitting him, yeah, it pauses, because so basically when you're hitting them, it pauses the buffs for 0.2 seconds, right? And these buffs are so short as they are, that it almost feels like there's definitely a little bit of a difference if the RNG is there and they let you, hit into them. But I feel like that creates a much more stressful playstyle, and you actually are better off with the MCOC synergy and maybe Quake just in case. So there's actually a place right away that I'm very excited to test her out on, and we're going to jump into it right now. Right out of the gate here, man, we're going into the Abyss. We're going to see how Black Widow does against Abyss thing, because it's the quickest thing we can get to. And 95% defensive accuracy reduction, right? So we shouldn't be seeing too many. We shouldn't be seeing too many rock stacks here. Let's see. So far, I see none. I see none of them. That's fun, right? That'd be fun to take, like a thing boss, man. An alliance war with Black Widow. A max sig Black Widow. How freaking cool would that be? Now, I'm not sure if Quake is helping here at all. Alright, I'm seeing some rock stacks now. So yeah, obviously, she doesn't really hit hard enough to be an amazing Abyss counter. But what we're showcasing right here is just that defensive ability accuracy reduction. And that's what we're really going to be focusing on today in this video. We're not going to be focusing on damage. There's a couple places where I really want to test out that defensive ability accuracy reduction. Also, take a shot for every time I say defensive ability accuracy reduction. I say it a bunch. I'm going to say, we'll probably say like DAR for the remainder of the video, because it comes up a lot in conversation, right? So obviously, man, you know, like I said, she's not a super hard hitter. She's always been like more of a utility champion, right? To my knowledge. Like, there's that evade. There's one of those evades. So basically, right, so far we've hit him like over 80 times, give or take, and out of all of those hits, only 4 rock stacks have procced, and that seems about right, because it should be a 95% DAR percentage here. Okay, so it's looking like it's all working as it's supposed to be. Is the Quake synergy helping? Maybe. Maybe what it is it's against, you know, Science Champions. It's plus 15% on that initial 80%, and then another 15% with Quake. Of course, now they gain a bunch of ability accuracy in the second, you know, set of charges here in the Abyss. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of there now, because we just wanted to test out that DAR. Now we're going to test out that DAR a little bit more, man. So let's jump into some Act 6 content. Alright, man, so we're here in 6.3.2, the Nick Fury chapter, and we have this, like, really old node that used to appear all the time in MCOC, Thorns, and apparently Black Widow is, like, the god-tier counter to this node, alright? So clearly, retaliates with 15% attack as direct damage whenever struck, right? So, Black Widow, of course, against Science Champions, is going to reduce that DAR by 95%. So, let's go ahead and jump right in and see what happens, man. Yeah, this should work. And also, yeah, I was going to say, Luke Cage should not activate that, is indestructible. There's only be a very, very, very small chance of activating that indestructible. Get out a special attack here, and this should basically just be a normal fight without seeing any Thorns damage, because there's only a, you know, what, 5% chance of seeing that, and if we do see it, no big deal if it happens like one time. You know, this node is really hard when you just get punched in the face like that. Now, this node is really hard when, you know, you don't have a counter to the Thorns and you're just taking consistent Thorns damage, but that's not happening here. Yeah, we're actually doing some decent damage here too as well, because, you know, especially when we keep those buffs up. And of course the synergy team that we brought along is very nice to have as well. We have a lot of extra attack and crit with the teams that we brought along, which is very nice. Alright, so the indestructible just propped up here. And let's go for a special 2. I wish we got a big crit, but we did not get a big crit. That's alright. We don't need no big crits, because we're going about this for the utility, man. That's what we're looking for here. So obviously, you know, we got hit once in the face. We lost about 30% of our health. We've thrown like 3 special attacks, and we had some damage from the Suicide Masteries. Overall, I haven't seen any Thorns damage. Maybe it's happened like one time when I missed it. But what a awful time for that indestructible to pop up. But anyway, that's fine. So unless I missed, you know, any Thorns damage, I believe we've been free from it this entire time. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying what I'm seeing from Black Widow so far. It's definitely making me feel good about, like, wanting to rank her up for this utility, right? It's like what Falcon has, but, like, 100% uptime as well. We're not going to fight the Void because we have the Suicide Masteries on, but there are some very similar things we're going to be testing out all over the game here. So another place we're going to go to is in 6.3, the Mysterio chapter, 6.3.5 here. Very, very similar type of node here, okay? We're going to go down here and to this SpiderMan here, all right? And there's a really nasty node combo that doesn't have too many counters, and in fact there is one of those 6.3 boosts for it. That's how you're supposed to get through it with the skill champ, funny enough. But we're not going to use it, because look at it here, okay? There's long distance relationship as well as cramping, okay? So while under the effects of a weakness debuff, which you get the entire time from long distance relationship, 10% of the attacker's power is drained every second. Additionally, they suffer 25% of the defender's attack as damage each time they land a hit, alright? So, if we have 80% reduced DAR here, because it's not a science champion, we shouldn't have to worry about that. So we have the weakness buff, and look at this. We're not taking any huge damage. We took a little bit of huge damage, because like I said, only an 80% chance. But if this was a science champion, well, that would be a lot better, right? But check it out. Looks like we had some bad RNG there in the beginning. For the most part, we're avoiding a lot of that damage. It's definitely coming in pretty fast here. But here's another thing. We can counter evade. We're countering some evade. How about that? I do want to check into evade a lot more here. We're going to go and encounter some evade a lot more than this, all right? Some science options even. But it's looking like to me, when you're really relying on that DAR, you really want it to be against science champions. Because listen, any other champion would have been dead before 10 hits here, okay? Because you just take that burst damage on every single hit. However, you know, it's really nice to have a little bit of a reduction there. However, at the same time, only 80% instead of 90%, it's not as reliable, unfortunately. So I guess we are going to have to stick to science champions. So it's looking like when you're really looking for that defensive ability accuracy reduction, you might want to go with Falcon, get that full 100%, you know? But here, we have 95% against science champions. So why don't we go ahead and test out two things in this quest, okay? We have biohazard, and we have evade. So there's evade here, right? Mesmerize and stuff? Yeah. So, why don't we check this out? There's Miles Morales' personal evade as well as mesmerize as well. So we're going to go ahead and see what happens here, okay? So let's go ahead into this fight with Miles and see if we can fight him without triggering any evades. There should be a 95% reduced chance, okay? So we'll even let his little stun run out here. All right. Now, it's not going to say evade failed like it would if you had, like, True Strike on. It's just not going to happen, okay? And we can even throw a special attack here, and he shouldn't evade it. And look at that! Look at that. The defensive ability accuracy reduction actually didn't give him more evade charges. That's actually really, really nice. It happened again. Yeah, we're actually rolling through this fight here. A lot better than the previous fight. Yeah, the Thorns against Luke Cage, that was really, really nice. But against that symbiote Spider-Man, not the best showcase there, right? So it's really looking like you do want to stick to using her against only science champions, which I guess is ooh, that was a nice... nice special too, which is a little unfortunate because, you know, she's such a fun champion, and like you have that nice nostalgia with her. You do want to like use this ability elsewhere. Now that Falcon has 100%, this was a solid fight. This was a really solid fight, man. I want to test her out against that invisible woman right away. See how she does against Biohazard. I have a feeling she's going to do pretty well. After this, we'll take her probably one more place, I think. Maybe, maybe not. We might even cut early. How long has it been? It's been almost 20 minutes already, so this video's getting a little long. Usually don't like to make these longer than 20 minutes or so, but you know, we're just going. We're just rolling along. If there's stuff we want to test out, we're going to test it out, man. And there's a lot of stuff I want to test out with Black Widow because, you know, first and foremost, I never used her much as a 4-star, and I started playing the game after 12.0, so she kind of fell off by the time I started playing, right? There was a lot of other champions that could do what she does even better, and that's true now. But, you know, when you have her as a 5-star here, might be worth using her a bit. Let's see. So for me, my first impressions right away is that, you know, you only really want to use her for the ability accuracy reduction when you're fighting science champs. Now, I feel like I've said that before, but I really do want to just nail in the fact that 80% reduction is not enough, okay? It really needs to be like at least 95%. And even that is pushing it a little bit because occasionally things slip through that really can't slip through. So It kind of sucks that you can only like reliably use her for her utility against science champions, but she's really good at it against science champions, against Luke Cage, against Invisible Woman, against that Miles Morales, against Thing and Abyss. We didn't have a single problem. Like, I would feel comfortable fighting Thing in Alliance War with Black Widow at Sig 200, to be honest. Like, I feel like that 5% chance wouldn't slip through 15 times in like a short Alliance War fight. Yeah. Very, very reliable against science champions, okay? Now, there is something in Act 6 here. I'm trying to remember where it is. I think it's leading up to the Weapon X boss, so it should be in here, where there is a node called Stun Vulnerability, and there is a node for Skill Champions. Let's take a look. Yep, this is it. It's Aspect of War, and also a fun node for Skill Champions. Now, I don't know how she's going to do here. I just know that it interacts with Skill Champions, and that's why I'm drawn to it right now. So, Cage Rattler. Whenever a skill attacker is blocked, they have a 50% chance to passively stun the defender for 2 seconds. The stun chance is increased by 10% for every 5 hits on the attacker's combo meter. Funny enough, our defensive ability accuracy reduction might actually make this, like, impossible to happen. But let's give it a shot, all right? This might be an interesting look all around, where it might just turn into a regular fight. Let's see. Yep, because technically, man, it's defensive ability accuracy when we're hitting into their block. So that 50% chance becomes less than 95% chance. So right now, this guy has a minus 45% chance of going blocked. Look at that. But I believe the chance increases as our combo meter gets higher. Ooh, baby. That was a nice special, too. All right, so we got to keep the combo meter high. Well, we had to keep it high, and unfortunately we didn't. Right? But point is, yeah, that's really fun, and it's really interesting how even nodes that are, like, benefiting to the player, right? Like, that obviously benefits us a lot, but that's defensive ability accuracy reduction as well. So we reduced that, yeah. So obviously, we didn't think she was going to be amazing for Act 7. The health pools are super duper high, but yeah, man, we had a lot of fun messing around with Black Widow today, huh? Definitely a lot of fun. She's definitely a champion I would love to pull. I would rank her up on my main account. I really, really would. Even though I know it probably wouldn't be like the smartest rank up over, let's see my other options here. Champions that I have to rank up from skill. Gwenpool would be great. Falcon would be smart. Even Ronin's probably better. Crossbones might be useful. Squirrel Girl would be fun. Hitmonkey is really, really good. Yeah, that's about it. The rest I have as 6 stars, so I skipped any of the good ones, you know, like Killmonger and other ones. Yeah, that's the only really good one there. But anyway, man, you know, it was a lot of fun messing around with her. Where is she? Here she is. Lots of fun messing around with her. I wish they'd buff this up a little bit to make it 100% like it is with Falcon. I feel like it wouldn't be too overpowered, man. I really don't think it'd be overpowered. But anyway, my dudes, that's going to be it for this really fun rank up and gameplay video. I'm really glad we finally got to mess around with OG Widow at 565, Sig 200. I hope you enjoyed seeing it. If you did, drop your boy a big ol' like. Comment what you think about seeing rank 5 Black Widow in the comment section below. And make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more really fun rank up and gameplay videos coming to you very, very soon. I'll be seeing you around.